Good afternoon. George Cavaligos for HFT Bonds. Well, if you were up and trading at 6 a.m. this morning, you could have caught the dip. We did see another little sell-off overnight. Typically, they've waited until the early morning hours before they turned around and started buying them. But boy, as soon as the guys in, the early risers in New York started coming in, they started buying the bonds and notes. By the time I got here, we'd already bounced, about 4 or 5 ticks in the 10-year off the low, and I think about, a similar amount in the bonds too. Market traded off a little bit on some data, but it just, it was bulletproof again. We had the Michigan data that was a lot stronger than expected. The market sold off briefly and then came roaring right back. The one interesting thing is, and it's kind of the difference that we've seen today, was the sort of late afternoon sell-off as we saw some profit taking. I imagine the market had gotten itself kind of long, and then the drift lower picked up steam. We ended up closing up a couple ticks on the day, but nothing awe-inspiring again, and the volume was mediocre at best. 690,000 in the 10-year. If we're starting a bull trend, I'm looking for the 1,200,000, 1,300,000, 1,400,000 10-years, and over 500,000 bonds, and bonds did 324,000. I think it's just more range type trading here. I haven't fought it too much, not today. I had a couple little buys and one little sale. I did not post any trades in the chat room today. I'm, trying some different things here to get back on track, and I think putting my trades out for public consumption in the chat room, I don't know why, but it was causing me a lot of issues. And after that meeting with the boss yesterday, we made some decisions here that we needed to change things a little bit. He suggested not posting my trades in the chat room. He suggested some other things too, but I won't go into that right now. I did a couple small trades today, trying to work on getting the confidence back. He's cut my size way back too. So I was, a little bit of a buyer early, sold them too early, bought them again, sold them too early, sold them this afternoon, had a little buy signal up on the 10-year right around, 10 minutes after noon. I think it was trading around 14 plus 15. Rode that down a little bit. Didn't take it all the way down, that's for sure. And that's about it right now. I really like Ali's trade. He's been buying those bond puts here. I'm sure he is at least scratch on that trade, and he's probably up a little bit with a free pass on the weekend coming up here. And again, I didn't think today's close was fantastic. It was okay. We closed up small after being up a lot. Wishy-washy range trade. Sell them when they look great, sell them when they make new highs, that type of trade, or at least be on alert for sell signals when it makes new highs. That's the way I played it this afternoon. I certainly didn't try to pick the top, but when we caught the little, I think the initial high was 17, we sold off down to 13, 14, and then we bounced back up to 16 half, and then as it was coming back down, we put up the minor sell signal, and I rode that down for a little bit. So that's it. I don't have much else to add. A lot of crazy stuff still going on in all these markets. I think these are all big corrective trades on all these markets after we had the massive QE sell-off in the bonds and rally in equities and everything. I think we're going through a big corrective pattern right now. Tim Ord in Gary's chat room did a very interesting analysis on the gold mining stocks. He says that just based on his time frame, sometime next week is when the gold stock rally starts up again. Maybe that's the end of the corrective pattern that we've been waiting for on all these markets. If gold is going to be leading the way, it has been one of the better performing assets. It makes sense if the Fed and ECB and Bank of China and all these other central banks are doing QE, that the gold and the gold miners will do well. We've bounced a little bit here off the lows. We did hold settlement in the 10-year. Bonds got down to 14. really didn't break below that that area that Ollie was very focused on, around that 13-14 area. He was hoping for a close back below 14. That would have set up more of a bearish looking candle trade. That's about it. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday, and I'm kind of excited for next week. I'm hoping that Tim Ward's time frame for getting out of this choppy corrective trade returns. Should be interesting. Have a great one.